In 2008, the state of Ohio passed a renewable portfolio standard into law, requiring that 25% of all electricity sold in the state must come from alternative energy sources by the year 2025. 12.5% of that must be generated by renewable resources such as wind.
I think that Ohio is well positioned to be a leader in wind power technology. For one thing, we have a very strong manufacturing base. We also have a great logistics capability and distribution network. We have a very skilled workforce, and all those things build for Ohio to be very much a leader in wind technology.
Ohio's first utility-sized wind farm was built in 2003 in Bowling Green. Towering 257 feet above the fields, these 4 wind turbines supply electricity for about 3,000 residents. It is the only utility-sized wind farm in the state.
Ohio wanted to take the time to develop a clear and transparent process for how wind projects are sited. And the Power Siting Board here in the state is the one that reviews wind projects for permits. And we wanted to take that time. Right now we have 1,000 megawatts before the Power Siting Board for wind projects. The Power Siting Board reviews all of the projects. They welcome public input. They take all of that into consideration, and then they make a decision on the permit.
Lake Erie is also the focus of studies. With its offshore winds, the lake has the potential to power 75 million households.
It is very exciting, and there's a lot of opportunity there. We're working with some private developers, but nothing's official yet. So it is a great gold mine for us as far as wind.
Wind energy is not all about utility-sized wind farms. Ralph Dull has 6 turbines helping to power his farm.
On this, the home farm here, where we have, I suppose, 300 electric motors. So our electric bill runs about $35,000 a year. So we expect these 6 turbines to reduce that down to about half that much. It'll replace the kilowatt hours that we've been paying for off the grid. We are very concerned about the environment. And if we can harvest wind to produce electricity, well, that'll cut down on the use of coal in that case. I think there's many ways that we can help to clean up the atmosphere, use renewable energy. You don't have to pay for the wind. Environmentally, well, it's almost pure. After the steel is made for the towers and the turbines, of course that has some environmental production effect, but after that, there's no cost and no pollution.
Another income-generating possibility for farmers is the ability to lease their land to utility companies for the installation of large wind farms. The farmer still plants crops on the land while the utility makes electricity. And it's not all about economics. Cleveland's Great Lakes Science Center has a wind turbine 150 feet tall. It provides approximately 7% of the center's electrical needs. However, the center uses it more for education and making people aware of wind power technology. Another aspect of wind energy is building and sustaining a manufacturing and supply base, which is critical to keeping Ohio in the business of advanced energy technologies.
We've identified 100 companies in the state of Ohio who are already part of that wind supply chain network. And we've identified another 500 companies who are interested in becoming part of that wind supply chain network. One good example of a company that is developing wind technologies would be Webcor Technologies in the city of Dayton.
What Webcor does in terms of wind technology is we are a designer and manufacturer of an advanced composite core material that is used by blade designers of large utility scale blades to produce more efficient, cost-effective, larger wind turbine blades. Most wind turbine blades that are greater than 20 feet in length, that are used for what we call utility scale blades, which are used for generating large amounts of electricity, are made out of composite materials. And in the case of the materials we use are fiberglass reinforcement or fabrics. We also use resin, and then we use a core material. such as it could be balsa wood, it could be a foam material, or it could be a combination or a hybrid material like Ticor, which is our product. We're at a very interesting growth stage of the company. We'll be setting up manufacturing and sales operations, as I said, in the Asia-Pacific region, as well as in Europe and in India. So our future looks very exciting.
As we further develop the supply chain, we expect that jobs will be created in local economies, and that's very important to our cities and our counties. We've had some who projected as many as 11,700 jobs potential for the state of Ohio. There's also an increased tax base that comes with the increase of an industry in any one of our communities.
As far as the supply chain in Ohio, I think Ohio has to continue to be innovative, bring technologies in that when it comes to alternative energy, not only wind turbines, but also fuel cells, et cetera, et cetera. And I think Ohio is working hard at attracting or creating within its own boundaries those technologies and companies that have the potential to strengthen the supply chain as well as become major manufacturers again to these new technologies and these new applications.
The state of Ohio offers programs for assisting residential and commercial property owners interested in wind turbines, as well as manufacturers and suppliers.
The growth of Webcor, to a large extent, has been largely fueled through the support we've gained from the state of Ohio in terms of its Ohio Department of Development and the Third Frontier. They have been instrumental and I think visionary with regards to recognizing that it's important to fuel innovation and technologies in the state.
Renewable energy in Ohio is a targeted industry for us. We see a lot of opportunity and growth for the state, both in jobs, in the supply chain as far as manufacturing parts for all of our renewable energy, including wind, but also the opportunity to develop projects here that create energy. And again, that's really important for the energy security for the state.